OpenAI just ended its 7-year exclusive deal with Microsoft. And within 24 hours, Amazon was already selling OpenAI's most powerful model on its own platform. The biggest lock-in in tech history just cracked open, and nobody saw it coming this fast. For years, if you wanted to build anything serious with OpenAI's models, GPT-4, GPT-4o, all of it, you had exactly one cloud option: Microsoft Azure. That was the deal. Microsoft pumped billions of dollars into OpenAI, and in exchange they got exclusive rights to distribute those models through their cloud. No AWS, no Google Cloud, just Azure. It was one of the most powerful lock-in arrangements in tech history. But as of April 28, 2026, that deal is dead. OpenAI and Microsoft have rewritten their partnership, and the exclusivity clause is gone. Less than 24 hours later, Amazon Web Services announced that OpenAI models, including the brand new GPT 5.5, are now live on AWS Bedrock. This is a seismic shift, and most people don't realize yet just how big this actually is. Let's back up and understand exactly what just happened, because the details matter. When Microsoft first invested in OpenAI back in 2019, and then dropped another $10 billion in 2023, the core deal was this: Microsoft got an exclusive cloud license to OpenAI's technology. That meant every API call, every ChatGPT business integration, every developer building on top of GPT, it all ran through Azure. Microsoft became the single gateway to the most powerful AI in the world. That's an insane amount of leverage. But here's where it gets complicated. OpenAI wanted to expand. They needed more compute, more customers, more reach. And Amazon was sitting right there with the largest cloud infrastructure on the planet, AWS, and a massive enterprise customer base that doesn't use Azure. So OpenAI and Amazon started talking. The problem? That exclusivity clause blocked it. If OpenAI went to AWS, they'd be in breach of their deal with Microsoft. So what happened? They renegotiated. The new deal strips out the exclusivity. Microsoft now holds non-exclusive rights to OpenAI's IP through 2032, so they still have access, still have a partnership, but they no longer own the only pipe. And in exchange, Microsoft is reportedly dropping its revenue share payments to OpenAI, while OpenAI continues capped payments back to Microsoft through 2030. Essentially, both sides paid a price, but OpenAI bought its freedom. Now here's what makes this even bigger. The day after the deal closed, AWS held an event. They called it What's Next with AWS 2026. And they announced that GPT 5.5 and GPT 5.4 are available in preview on Amazon Bedrock. Bedrock, for those who don't know, is Amazon's managed AI platform where developers can access foundation models and build AI applications. So now, for the first time ever, you can build with OpenAI's most powerful models directly inside AWS. No Azure required. Think about what that means for developers. There are companies that have avoided building AI features entirely because their infrastructure is on AWS, and they didn't want to deal with a multi-cloud setup just to access GPT. That barrier just disappeared. Overnight, OpenAI is now accessible to an entirely new category of customer: the hundreds of thousands of businesses that are deeply embedded in the Amazon ecosystem. And there's another layer here. OpenAI isn't just placing models on Bedrock. They're also bringing Codex, their AI coding agent, and their managed agents framework to AWS. This means you can now build autonomous AI agents that do real work, browse the web, write code, manage tasks, directly through Amazon's infrastructure. This is OpenAI going from being a Microsoft exclusive to being truly cloud agnostic almost overnight. Now let's talk about the winners and losers here because they're very clear. Amazon wins big. They've been playing catch-up in the AI race. Their own Bedrock models, including Anthropic's Claude, have been strong, but GPT had been locked behind a competitor's door. Now they have it. AWS enterprise customers, some of the biggest companies in the world, can now access the most recognized AI brand on Earth through a platform they already trust. Developers win. Competition between clouds for AI workloads means better pricing, better performance, more flexibility. If Azure raises prices or has an outage, you now have a real alternative for the exact same models. Microsoft? It's more complicated. They still have a strong relationship with OpenAI and non-exclusive access through 2032. Azure is deeply integrated with Microsoft's enterprise products, Office, Teams, Copilot, so they're not going anywhere. But they just lost a massive strategic moat. The thing that made Azure uniquely valuable to AI developers, that exclusive GPT access, is gone. Microsoft's stock dipped on the news. The market noticed. And what about OpenAI? They look like the big winner in terms of reach. But there's a real question here. By spreading across every cloud, do they dilute their relationship with Microsoft, their biggest financial backer? OpenAI is not yet profitable. They still need Microsoft's resources. This freedom came with a price. Here's my take. This is actually good for everyone long-term, including Microsoft. The AI market needed this. One company controlling the only pipe to the best AI model was always a fragile and dangerous structure. Now, OpenAI has to compete on quality, not on exclusivity. Amazon has to actually build good infrastructure to win those workloads, and developers get to choose. That's how technology is supposed to work. The real question is what OpenAI does next, because being available everywhere is great, but it's also a lot harder to maintain quality and security at that scale. We'll be watching closely. If you found this valuable, subscribe. We cover every major AI shift the moment it breaks. And drop a comment below. Do you think this is good for the AI industry, or does it weaken OpenAI's edge? I want to know what you think.